Welcome to Cool But Rude, a TMNT rewatch podcast. Today we will be going over Season 3, Episode 6/24, The Old Switcheroo. Stay tuned. Welcome back. My name is Christopher.
I'm Robert.
I'm Mike.
And you are listening to Cool But Rude. And today we're going over The Old Switcheroo. And it looks like it had an original air date of October 2nd, 1989. And before we get into that, we gotta hit our power rankings. And was there anything else we wanted to go over?
I read today that the sequel to Mutant Mayhem is coming out 2026.
Nice.
It's a minute.
I think it's even like October.
Of course. That's some GTA 6 bullshit right there.
October 9th. Yeah, some GTA 6 bullshit. So we got a while, but I mean, golly, that's 2.5 years.
Yeah. I remember when that trailer dropped for the game. Everyone was like super hyped, like the world blew up, and it's just like everybody got to the end. It was like, what?
They're like, after you die.
Yeah. That'll be cool. I mean, shit. Hopefully it, stacks up to the original. I wonder who's going to be the big bad. Oh, I think we know based on the ending of the last one.
Yes. Yeah, we know who it'll be.
Red King.
Dude, I can only wish.
It would be cool if he was on there. He might. I mean, I feel like they like to throw in unexpected stuff sometimes. So I think it's a possibility. I don't know if I would bet on it though.
Now, I saw a headline today. I didn't even click on the story, but apparently there's a new Turtles game coming out for, I think, all the systems, including PC.
Oh, snap.
Thumbnail was for the 2012 Nickelodeon Turtles, but I don't know if that was just a picture that they used.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I do know they're working on a Last Ronin game.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I think they're working on a sequel to that too, in terms of the writing, like an actual comic book or a prequel. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I haven't really kept up with all that much. This is bad that I think there are like a few follow-up series to that, or like a few follow-up volumes at least. But I could be wrong. I'm really bad about keeping up with comic stuff.
Yeah, I think I just saw some of it in passing. Looks like there's a lot going on with it, but
yeah.
Either way, that'll be cool when we get to it.
Yeah. All right. Chris, yeah, we're going to let Mike go first this time. 30 to 36. Pick one.
33, Scottie Pippen.
Oh, snap.
All right.
No tipping Pippen.
Chris, your turn. 30 to 36.
30.
Actually, 30 to 37 is what you can go up to.
32.
All right. You were asking.
Oh,
you were asking earlier.
Shit.
You picked Irma. Mike got the Pizza Monsters.
Oh, those guys are cool.
Wow.
The little meatball monsters.
Yeah, I like those. They were just fun. They reminded me of like Xenomorphs.
Yeah, those guys, they were a lot like Xenomorphs. They were pretty cool too. Let me share my screen with y'all, and we will get rolling. Be thinking about how powerful. I guess we can start with Irma. She'll probably
how powerful Irma is. Yeah, let's think about that real hard.
All right, so this is where we are.
She's got the power to drag down any episode.
Does she go straight up right here where everybody, I'm not even going to insult our listeners' intelligence by explaining what I'm talking about. Is this where she goes? Or is there any argument to go up a little bit?
I have no argument.
I really don't like Blodgett, is all I'm going to say. So.
You don't like Blodgett, but.
I don't know. I don't know if he's. Because to me, I don't know why I'm trying to make this argument, but I think he's actually in the negative, and she would just be neutral. Like, she'd just be zero. because he hurts himself. Okay.
You're right. He did accidentally drive a truck off the off of a dock.
Oh yeah, he drove. That was the one I was talking about. I was talking about when he created a pile of comic books and they collapsed on himself like some like one of those people that has like trash in their house for like 10 years.
So is Irma Zero and Blodgett is actually negatively powerful?
Yeah, I think he might be. I think being associated with that cat just like drags you down.
Mike, what do you think?
I'm trying to think of all of the things that Irma has done throughout the series, because the episode with the pizza monsters, I felt like that's the most that she's been featured as doing things other than lamenting about men and relationships.
What did she do?
Her love life.
Oh, she like crawled through like the dryer into the sewer or
she
something
did
like that.
But did she do anything that altered the course of events? I can't remember. I'm genuinely asking. Okay.
I
thought she like tried to fight it. Like, didn't she like try to hit it with something or like wrap it in a curtain? Like there was a moment where
curtain thing sounds familiar.
I think that's her. I could be wrong. I think I kind of remember what you're talking about. I remember,
or the rug, something.
I remember them getting wrapped up in a rug. I thought it was the turtles that did that.
That might have been them,
but maybe not.
Well, in any event, she is below Blodgett for me. I know that we have said that we're judging raw power based on whatever, but not deeds, because I brought up Blodgett saving April, and that was when, everybody said it's not about deeds that they have done. So deeds that Blodgett have done, just to counter you, Chris, everything that he did that failed was a deed. He drove the car into the water. And the argument against him saving April was that anybody could do that. Well, anybody could be dumb enough and drive a car in the water if they wanted to. You know what I'm saying? So I think as far as what each have done, you still have to bring that into the equation. Irma has done nothing, but April got saved by Blodgett, regardless of whatever is being used in ranking these people. I think you have to bring some of what they have done, what they have brought to the table.
What was it that he did to save her?
He ran and shoved her out of the way, tackled her out of the way of a falling wall or a building or whatever.
Okay.
So that takes, in my opinion, some brave, whatever. So I'm going to have to put him above Irma, because Irma has not really displayed any kind of, anything. We haven't seen anything from her other than her man troubles. That's why I was asking about that episode, because maybe she did show or do something, but none of us can seem to recall. Maybe if we revisit, maybe we can revamp the ranking. But
oh no, she's definitely a runner. Because like when Donatello got kidnapped by the aliens.
Oh yes, she ran off.
She got the hell out of there.
She did. So yeah, that's all I got. She goes at the bottom for me.
All right, I'll concede that one.
Now I don't dislike Irma. I think she brings
thirst.
Her character fills a role. There's just that specific role that she fills, and it's comic relief for me in a show that's already funny. But I definitely get why you guys. I just love how it makes you guys react. To be honest, I love
you talk about Splinter.
Yeah.
She definitely feels that like sitcom trope of like the best friend that's unlucky with like whatever,
Yes.
So
I'm gonna have to add her to the T-shirt that I'm gonna get you guys made, and just Blodgett specifically for you.
You should do one of those T-shirts where it's got like the letters on one side and the names.
Oh yeah,
it forms like a word, and it just like it's like bullshit, and it's like Blodgett.
I was convinced by Christopher's argument, and then Mike convinced me back to the original, which was I thought Irma should. I at first thought Irma should go at the very bottom. Then after listening to Chris, I was like, you know what, maybe not. And then Mike, I was like, you know what, he's got a point too.
This hill ain't worth dying on.
No, hell no. I think she's going. So I think we've decided to put her at the bottom then, right?
Yes.
By the way, I'm sorry to say this, but there is an episode featuring like that features Irma as the main.
I've seen the thumbnail
in this season.
I've seen the title,
okay.
and I'm like, this shit. But yeah,
I cannot wait.
Our first 1 out of 10.
I'm waiting for the Vernon episode if there is one.
Oh my gosh,
I'm sure there is.
that might actually be funny though.
Yeah, it would be.
Okay, what was the other one? The Pizza Monsters.
Ooh.
So these guys were pretty effective monsters. They were nothing. God, I'm trying to remember what they did. Like they were not they're not like Bebop and Rocksteady or something like that, but they were not just Foot Soldier either.
Mm-mm.
Which I guess I didn't do this intentionally, but we could use that if we all agree on those things to look at this area here.
Yeah, that's the
Which
range
is
I was
between-
putting them.
Yeah.
Interesting. I have my place.
Yeah, me too.
I'll say
Yeah, let's reverse it. Yeah, Robert,
Yeah, you go
first.
first for a change, fool.
I'm thinking they go below April and above Baxter Stockman.
Hmm.
Because we've talked about Baxter Stockman in not fly form was pretty. He kind of like was hamstringed by his own incompetence, despite being a genius. And April has been actually a very capable character throughout this series, especially the previous episode.
Oh yeah, Shredder knows her name.
So like I feel like she's more. She can, if it came to it, like she could make more stuff happen than the Pizza Monsters could. What do y'all think?
Hmm.
Are we talking we're talking a single pizza monster, right?
Good point.
I'm thinking
Yeah,
the pair.
yeah. Let's just
Oh, okay.
the pair. Let's say two Pizza Monsters.
Any reason to?
Because aren't there two mainly in the episode?
I think it was 3, but
Was it 3?
yeah, but
Okay.
I think one got dispatched pretty early. But I
Because that
don't
makes
know.
a difference.
Let's just say one.
Okay.
One Pizza Monster.
And did they turn big? I'm having a hard time
Yeah.
remembering.
They got like
They were
like-
straight a ripoff, Joe. They started
Okay.
out with a little like meatball, and then they turned into
Right.
like a fetus, and then they turned into like fucking 6-foot monster.
I didn't think about that aspect of it. Not only did they look the same, but they also followed the same like growth throughout the episode.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even think about that at the time.
Did they spit acid as well?
No.
No.
I
Okay.
don't think
That's as far as
not
they
that I
went.
remember. Yeah.
I thought if you cut them though, maybe.
Yeah, that's right. They didn't like shotgun him at point blank, so we don't really know.
Yeah.
And how did they get done in?
Wasn't it a device in the water, or was it electricity?
I think it was electricity. Leonardo did something to cause them to get electrocuted.
Okay.
They had a device, but that was the device that controls them, and it fell into the water, and they lost control of them. That wasn't what.
All right.
wasn't what
So they were
hurt them,
controlled
though.
by that device.
Yeah.
This is back in Leo's electricity days.
Yes.
Where do you have them, Chris?
I have him under neutrinos, but a mutant plant. I do think that the neutrinos, they got cars with guns. There's a couple of them. They could take out one. They could probably take out 2 even. I don't. I think they're cool, but I don't think they're like. And I definitely think Baxter could drop them. Like he's got the guns, and yes, like he ends up being his own worst enemy in a lot of ways. But on the onset, his devices work. I mean, he doesn't make things
Yeah,
that
that's
don't
true.
work. Like it's just that they get turned on him or they get foiled. I'm still like rocking that foot gun.
Yeah. I like the. I'm personally a fan of the gun that makes people's clothes disappear.
Yes,
For obvious
classic.
reasons. I'm going to stick with my. Yeah, I'm going to stick with my original placement, and that is above Catwoman April.
Oh shit! Okay.
Damn. So you think a foot soldier could take on one of these?
I do, because it's just
again,
one.
it's not necessarily a versus thing, but you do.
Yeah, I for some reason had it in my mind, and probably because of the alien thing, that they did spit something, that they had like some form of offense. Because did they not melt stuff with acid or something?
They did do something. They like, I think they used their hands. Yeah, they like used their hands to somehow burn a hole in the ground to run through or something like that. I think they just did it with their hands though. They kind of like used the force on it and burned a hole.
Okay, then in that case, I will go.
They were pretty strong too. Remember one of them just straight up picked up Raphael and was like flinging him around.
Sorry, who is that under the neutrinos?
The plant monster.
Okay, I'm going to go. Is this the same as you, Chris? Under the neutrinos?
Yeah, that's where I put him.
Okay,
I think that's a good spot.
like
Chris actually convinced me during his spiel. So if that's where you think they should go, then we'll put them right there.
Yeah, the acid thing convinced me because I feel it would manage to eat through a foot soldier. I'm not sure if it would outmaneuver a foot soldier in order to get that close. But if it did, the robot is toast.
According to the wiki, they're about 12 feet tall. So.
Okay, yeah. And the foot soldiers aren't necessarily strong, so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think that's a good spot.
Mike, on the last episode, you requested that we take into consideration moving April up based on her diving into the radioactive like explosion, pretty like meltdown, pretty much.
I did
take the batteries out of the thing.
That is correct. I did submit that for review.
Do we want to address that real quick?
I actually have two. One in addition to this submission.
Is it based on this current episode?
It is.
Okay, then let's save that one if that's all right.
Okay, yeah. Definitely.
Okay, so April, we have a motion to move April more powerful in the list. Where do you think she should go, Mike?
I feel like she needs to go above.
Better not fucking say Smash.
Underneath Smash, actually. This is your fault because I hadn't even considered that. But yeah, thinking about it, right under Smash. And the only reason that I think that would put him above her now is just because of his actual training, his
technical prowess.
Yes.
Let's be real here. Smash would also just show off his moves and she would fall in love with him.
She'd quiver.
Or she would seduce Smash into submission.
She would seduce Smash. Yeah.
Yeah, in her yellow denim jumpsuit.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, that's my official.
Okay, so that's pretty high because you're putting her above, so not only above Rasputin, but above Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yes. The reason that I wanted to move her up is because she did do what she did in saving the day again. And from what we see, she's still, she has not succumbed to radiation poisoning. So she's still alive. So there's durability to speak of, but her intelligence and her wit and her quick thinking, Bebop and Rocksteady do not have that at all.
They got that. Come on.
Okay. And we have not seen enough of what Rasputin can really do to justify anything really, but I know why he's above those two.
I'm wondering why that motherfucker's there at all at this point.
I was kind of wondering why he's so high also just now. I'm like, he's like top 10 right now. Why is this? He shot an arrow like 3 times. Yeah, I mean, and he did a good job, but like,
yeah,
didn't really see much. So, all right, wait. Chris, what do you think about where April should go based on Mike's suggestion?
This is one of those few times where he's actually convinced me. I'm okay with what he's saying.
What do you think about basically swapping her and Rasputin and putting him right below Rex 1? Is that too much?
That wouldn't offend me.
So we're not just boosting April, we're also
demoting Rasputin.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ready to demote him yet.
Okay. Well, we won't. Okay, then we won't do it based on just a vote then. Let's keep him in mind for reassessment, though. Okay.
Oh yeah, we're definitely he's on notice.
Yeah. I mean, he only got, one more episode to prove something, right?
I think maybe yeah.
Why is that?
He don't make any more appearances. I think he just has one more episode, like where he shows up.
Oh, I gotcha.
It's like April. She got all fucking day to do everything, so
Yeah.
she's not going anywhere.
All right. So, with that out of the way, for our listeners, our list as it stands. Again, I'm going to do Micro Machines. Most powerful to least powerful. Krang, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael, Fly, Stockman, Splinter, Omnis, Smash, April, Rasputin, Rocksteady, Bebop, Rex 1, Baxter, Stockman, Tentacle Monster, Neutrinos, A Pizza Monster, Mutant Plant, A Foot Soldier, A Roadkill, Rodney, Napoleon Bonafrog, Catwoman, April, Mob of Mousers, Baxter's Electricity Monster, Burn, Captain Hoffman, Vernon, Blodgett, Irma. All right. Time to talk about the actual episode.
Oh, we're still doing that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Let's do this.
All right, let's do this. The Old Switcheroo. Byrne has a story for April to cover. The night watchman at the Cybertech laboratory has spotted someone suspicious lurking about. April finds a semi-hidden spot at the lab to scope it out from the inside and spots Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady. She alerts the turtles, and they and Splinter show up to take Shredder out. During their fight, Splinter and Shredder end up on opposite ends of a type of conscience transferring machine, which of course becomes activated, swapping their personalities and then knocking them unconscious. The turtles and Bebop and Rocksteady carry off their respective masters' bodies, not realizing the switch that has taken place. Splinter and Shredder, now in each other's bodies, both use the opportunity to learn as much about their opponent as possible. Eventually, however, the turtles figure out what has happened after noticing that Splinter's fighting style seems to suddenly be very similar to that of Shredder. They also meet up with Shredder in Splinter's body, who's able to explain who he really is. To re-swap their consciences, the turtles come up with a plan to lure Shredder in Splinter's body back to the original laboratory, telling him that they've spotted Shredder there. Back at the lab, they're able to force Shredder in Splinter's body onto the platform, while Splinter, who is in Shredder's body, voluntarily takes position on the other side. The machine is activated, their minds are swapped back into their rightful bodies. The turtles, Bebop, and Rocksteady once again haul off their unconscious masters' bodies, this time with the right personalities attached, and retreat to their own hideouts.
Very nice. Thank you.
I think the obvious thing here, which we're probably all thinking, is we're already doing this again.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought about that after I got done doing all the notes and everything. Didn't we just see this shit?
Yeah.
What was that, 2 episodes ago?
It's 2 episodes ago, yes.
I don't know.
Well, here we are.
Yeah. Mike, you got anything before we get into it?
I was thinking about that because I know we had kind of talked about that last week. The order that we're doing them in is how they were aired or how they were produced?
Produced
/ written, yes.
Okay, so that was season 3, episode 18 per the studio. And this is season 3, episode 6.
Yes.
So was the audience seeing the same kind of scenario two episodes ago?
No,
they saw them 12 episodes apart.
Okay. So that I didn't have as big of a problem with it because that's what I was thinking. And it was different enough where I felt that it was still unique, its own.
So you're on the side of like, maybe they changed this around. Maybe they swapped the order for a good reason.
Oh, I mean, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I did have that thought did cross my head. I was like, maybe this is like not this situation alone, but maybe there were other situations like this where they were like, we need to kind of mix this up a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder. I don't know. We haven't seen enough of the season to say that yet, but that thought did cross my mind as well.
I'm just wondering like where the linear problem is going to come into play if it does. Like, is there going to be a point where it's like we watch something that airs before something else has happened that they reference?
Hmm.
That's my biggest like pet peeve with this kind of stuff. Is it's like, so then it's like they're going to be talking about something that happened that we haven't seen yet. And we're like, what the hell are they talking about?
Well, it wouldn't be that way for us, but it would have been that way for the
viewers at the time.
For the original, yeah, for the viewers at the time.
I remember when we blew up the Technodrome, and it's just like, what?
So far, the tech. I guess it depends on if and when they escape from the Earth's core. You know, if there are episodes where, if you had watched them on their original airing, where like it jumps around with them being there and not there.
Yeah, that would be a big problem. I mean, but you're also like 5 years old, so what the hell do you know?
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure that was kind of the logic at the time. They're like, it's a bunch of 5-year-olds watching this. Nobody's gonna know or care.
Yeah, nobody's gonna catch this shit.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yes. Time to get into it. The Old Switcheroo. We open up at Channel 6 News. Irma at her desk crying. Not even just bitching, tears.
Literally opens with her screaming and crying.
Yeah, and it plays that shitty music that I can't stand, where I know it's going to be like Everyday City.
Oh,
BS.
You don't like this music?
I don't like this music. It's just like this kind of music. I already know. I'm like,
this is Irma's music. This is her music.
Yeah, exactly. And her cute cut to Irma, and she's like sitting there crying. She's like, oh, and she's bitching about some date she went on with some guy named Elliot. And how it was a double date. She's telling all this to April, and she's telling all this, and she's like, "Oh yeah, it was a double date." And his idea of a double date is bringing his other girlfriend or whatever.
I love Elliot is an absolute player.
Yeah, total goat.
Imagine bringing one girlfriend to a date with another girlfriend.
Oh yeah,
balls on this guy.
Yeah, he no chill. And then, like April, thankfully, somebody's got the balls to tell Irma. She's like, just don't be so desperate. She straight tells her basically, like, you're just too anxious. Like, you're too willing to jump at anything. She's like, chill. Like, you're thirsty.
Yeah, and April says something like, you never see me jump when a man calls. Like, just be like me. Like, I'm like a confident babe, pretty much. Like, just be more like me.
Yeah. And at that instant, and it's totally not the same thing that she was talking about, but Byrne, her boss, yells for April to get over here into his office, and she goes running. She's like, oh yeah, Mr. So-and-so Thompson. And she runs over there, and Irma like does the whole breaks the fourth wall. I'm like, oh, good grief. It's just like, you know damn well what she's talking about. You're guilty. April goes into Byrne's office. Byrne's telling her, he's like, oh, there's been this night watchman at Cybertech Laboratories has been seeing this weird dude, a suspicious guy lurking around. He's like, probably friends with your turtle friends. I want you to go check it out, April. She's like, right on it. Runs out. And Irma's just like, wait, I'm not done like crying over my ex or whatever. And she's like, I got stuff to do. I'll talk to you later. Like, I'm done. I'm done with your shit.
All right, I would like to point out specifically what Irma says, because I want to see what your thoughts are. April says, she says her specific wording is that she has to go, quote, I'm on to something hot. Irma says, find out if he wants to double date with the two of us. So is Irma wanting to go on a date with April and a guy? Like, is this what Irma's after right now?
I think she's just trying to like be cheeky about like what just happened to her. So she's trying to be like, oh, us girls can play it like that too. I don't think she's trying to get into some threesome with April.
Okay.
I hope.
Oh, is that what you? Oh, wow.
That's kind of what I was like.
I knew where his head was. It was like, yeah.
I mean, he's the guy that likes Elliot, so.
Because she was just talking about Elliot on the double date, and then she was like, oh, I mean, if you guys want a double date. Yeah.
Well, she's just trying to be catty, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, take it easy there, Robert. Calm down.
Okay, I'll take it easy.
So we go ahead and start over, and we switch over to the turtle layer and to our heroes in a half show, and we got Donatello. He's showing his brothers his new invention. It's a pizza making machine, basically, which cuts the pizza making time in half. Splinter asks him to demonstrate it. Basically, he's like, "What is this?" And he tells him. He's like, "Oh, okay, let me show you." turns it on.
And by the pizza making machine, all you do is you just dump all the ingredients and it just like handles everything.
Exactly. Yeah, it just does all the work. You just throw the ingredients in there and it belts out a pizza super fast. The turtles all eat it, super like scarf it down. Splinter's like disgusted. He's just like, ugh. He like looks away.
He looks so pointed. He looks so disappointed. I'm like, dude, do you not like this is an amazing invention?
Yeah, and your sons love pizza. You should be happy for them, dick. But then he's like, oh, let me show you like how when it really does stuff. And he like kicks it into high gear. And it starts making tons of pizzas, like, and the turtles, like the other 3 turtles are like, trying to juggle all these different pizzas. They got like stacks of pizzas, like 10 high. And then it goes even faster, and it's like belting out pizzas with like nuts and bolts on them. And Michelangelo's like, strange toppings, dude. He's like,
yeah, that was good.
And I don't know why that cracked me up, but then the whole damn thing like starts. They can tell it's on the fritz and it's about to go, and the turtles take cover, and Splinter leaves the room apparently, and the whole thing blows up. And there's pizza like mozzarella on everybody. And he has this moment where he's just like, "Are you okay, Leonardo?" And he's just like, "Oh, it's just a bruise. I'm fine." And April at that time calls them and is like, "Hey, like Shredder's over here with his goons at this lab. You should get down here," basically.
His Goonies is what she said.
Oh, his Goonies. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I thought that was. I had to rewind. I was like, did she call him Goonies? She did.
So the turtles are like, all like, "Oh, let's get on it." Like, and then Splinter's just like, "I think I should come too." And he's just like, "No, it's too dangerous, Master Splinter." He's like, "You're injured, and in case like things get like unhappy or something, I will be there to help you."
He says, "Perhaps I can be of some assistance if it comes to an unfriendly encounter." When has it ever been a friendly encounter?
with Shredder and Bebop and Rocksteady? Like, are they like this ain't gonna be no fucking teddy bear picnic? Like,
No.
But yeah, sure enough, they go down there. All hell breaks loose. We're in the we cut to the lab. April's in there. She's like in the scaffolding, and she's like spying on Shredder and his goons or goonies. And then Shredder looks up after like one of them almost hits him with something. He looks up and he's just like, "Oh, it's April O'Neil. Get her!" And he always calls out like her whole name. Like there's other Aprils. Reporter. Yeah, like there's other Aprils they run into. It's like, it's April O'Neil. The turtles barge in just in time to save her. And Raphael is like totally badass. He like throws both sides, and he like pins Rocksteady to the wall by his like bandolier, and he pins Bebop to the wall by his pigtail. Like his like, but his hairdo, not his actual tail. And it's only for a moment. Like they're incapacitated, like they're hung up for a second, but it's still pretty tight.
It is some good accuracy right there.
Right. I was like, "Oh, that's my boy." And then like all hell breaks loose, and there's a big fight. Splinter and Shredder are going at it, like throwing down.
Splinter beats Shredder again.
Yeah, he does. Like it's almost a given at this point. Bebop and Rocksteady, they get free of their side restraints, and they got their blasters out, and they just start going to town. Like, "Oh yeah, we're make turtle soup," and like, and so Bebop, like, and through a series of events, Splinter lands on one of these like pads that's like apparently part of this giant like mechanism or like machine, and Shredder ends up on another pad of the same thing. Kind of think like teleportation pads or something like out of The Fly.
Neuron transference, something or another.
Yeah, mechanism or something.
Yeah.
And Bebop just shooting around. He goes ahead and he tags the console. I think it's Bebop. He tags the console and it activates the machine. And they like get zapped and they're like all like in pain. They're like, "Oh." And before you know it, each team takes their leader and they make a run for it. But upon coming to, you realize that their leaders aren't no longer who you thought they were.
Real quick, did y'all notice the yell that Splinter does when he dodges when he lands on the platform that he ends up on? He does it because he like dodged a move from I think it was when he dodged Bebop shooting at him.
Mm-hmm.
I thought of Mike because Maybe think of the one that you pointed out the one time where it's got, the rock monsters and stuff getting off of that vehicle and it like makes this really out of place noise. Yes. His yell sounded like it was from a completely different show. It was like really, not just the way he yelled, but the way they like added a tons of reverb to it. It kind of sounded like all he does is this kind of like jump backflip type thing. And he kind of like back handsprings onto it or something like that. But the sound that goes with it, he yells like, yeah, like echoes really bad. It's wow. You should go back and listen to it if you get a chance because it sounds so out of place.
Yeah, I might put it in the thing. I didn't notice it good though. Huh.
Say bye-bye, Ratso. Yeah.
Well, also though, real quick, Shredder ended up on that pad. It was Donatello. And this is the thing when we talk about consistency or inconsistency, it was more like it. This time Donatello just easily flipped Shredder with his bow and swung him onto the pad. And Shredder was behind him. He had the advantage, but no. So I don't know, man.
Was it this fight where Michelangelo got his ass whooped by Rocksteady? Where he like goes at him with like nunchucks and like Rocksteady grabs him and like throws him?
I don't remember that happening.
I know what you're talking about. I can't place it if it's this fight or the later one. Because one, he does the nunchuck thing where he knocks their
guns out.
I think that's the second one. So I think this is the fight where
he's whooped.
I believe so.
Yeah, Michelangelo was like trying to be Billy Badass and he like goes for Rocksteady one-on-one. And Rocksteady just like grabs his nunchuck and like instead of them hitting him, he like grabs it and he spins Michelangelo by the nunchuck and like throws him. And Michelangelo's like, "Wow, that worked out." Yeah. But so we cut over to the Shredder van. Basically, I don't know what else to call it. So it's a Shredder van.
It's a food truck.
The Shredder
it's
van.
A food truck,
a catering truck.
You want some jelly beans, boss?
Yeah.
Nice. So they're in this catering truck, and their Rocksteady offers Shredder, his boss, jelly beans, and he's like, "No, thank you." And that like they're like, "What? Like, is he just polite to us?" And then at that point, like you realize that it's Splinter inside of Shredder's body, and so he has to cover for it by insulting Bebop, and he's just like, "Oh, that's better." He's like, "Oh, I like that."
I love that they knew he was going to be rude to them, but they offered him snacks anyways.
Oh, these guys are
like,
conditioned
nice.
like all to hell. Like there is no fixing this. There's no therapy that can help these guys at this point. Like this is the cult of Shredder. So yeah, he Splinter decides that he has to play along because this is his opportunity to finally find the Technodrome. So, and it's actually pretty cool because he gets into like this, like the Technodrome, the drone module with Bebop and Rocksteady, and Bebop's like, "Oh, I love this part." And he's just like, "Wait!" And so it's just like this crazy, like they go down and it's like you get to see them being like inside the module again, but they're like enjoying it because it's like the last few times they've been in it, all they do is bitch, but now they've grown to like it apparently.
Yeah, that's a good point. I noticed that too.
Yeah.
We switch over to the turtle lair, and the turtles are escorting Master Splinter. And he's just like, "Can I take this off my eyes, this towel off my eyes?" And Leo's like, "No, it's cold. You need the cold compress. It helps with the swelling." Which I don't know what he's swelling from, but okay. And they take it off, and like the turtles go about their business, and like they're eating up pizza, they're like watching TV, doing all this stuff. And Splinter, we realize, is actually Shredder. So Shredder's mind is in Splinter's body, and Splinter's mind is in Shredder's body. So Shredder inside of Splinter is thinking, he's just like, "Oh, like, damn, I wish I could have been able to figure out how we got here, but I couldn't because of that stupid towel. But never mind, I'll still kill all the turtles anyway."
I love how he was never just like, "No, I'm not wearing this."
Yeah, it's like, aren't you Splinter? Aren't you their boss? Like their master?
Yeah. It's not like Shredder cares about hurting their feelings or something.
Oh, no. He said he proves that plenty later. Like he flexes on them like crazy. I'm like, what? Like, why didn't you just tell him to piss off with this rag? And then they start, Michelangelo starts heating up some pizza and they're like all excited. And Splinter joins them. And this is like the trigger for the turtles. The first hiccup where like they're like baffled. They're like, we thought you hated pizza, Master Splinter. And he's just like, is this how like you just disrespect your master and blah, blah, blah. He goes on like on this fucking tirade. And he's just like, everybody do your ninja lessons now. And they're like trying to like talk their way out of it or explain. They're like, hey, it's like an innocent mistake. He's like, nope, go your things in case Shredder shows up. Haha.
There was a missable, real little thing from Raphael in the midst of all the turtles kind of hustling to the exercise room after Shredder yells at them. You just catch Raphael. He's like, "Yep, I'm already there."
Oh, it's awesome.
It's just-
He actually had a few good quips. Like earlier when he's like, Donatello's like, oh, it's like missing a few bolts. He's like, yeah, just like it's Inventor.
yes.
When he's talking about the pizza machine. But yeah,
Yes.
and he does it later on too with Splinter.
Yeah. And last thing, I just think it's kind of, I don't know, neat that Shredder loves pizza so much. 'Cause that man grabbed that pizza and stuffed it in his mouth.
He was all about that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Vigor. Yeah.
And the way they do their voices too is just like Splinter Shredder is like super chill and like calm down and like toned down.
Mhm.
And like Shredder Splinter is like all like gravelly and pissed off sounding. He's like menacing sounding. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I thought they did a good. I thought the actors did a good job.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
When we switch over to the Technodrome and we got Krang and he's asking Shredder right out the gate. He's like, where's this mechanism that I sent you for? And Shredder is just like, we ran into some complications. And Bebop's like, oh yeah, which means the turtles showed up. And he starts laying into Shredder and Shredder just like, Shredder/Splinter, it just admits, he's just like, look, that was my responsibility. I didn't do it, so I'll go back and go get it. And Krang's like,
yeah.
what?
Huh?
Are you okay? So now Krang's suspicion is piqued. We come back to the lair, and the turtles, they're starting to wonder, like, as they're doing their, like, katas, I think is what they're called. They're doing their exercises. They're starting to wonder what's up with Splinter. Even Leo's like, does anybody think that, like, Master Splinter's a little off? Raphael's just like, I've always thought that.
Oh yeah.
Like, what you ain't telling us, Raphael? You got some hidden issues here?
Yeah, you got beef with Splinter?
No, Raphael just noticed all the same things that we've noticed.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
I can't remember if this is on the part that you just talked about with him with Splinter, Shredder, whatever, meeting Krang the first time. But we got a few couple good Star Trek style technology names.
I'm glad you brought this up.
There is it's just is it Bebop and Rocksteady? No, or is it's Rock Soldiers moving stuff around, right?
Yes.
There's an electron inductoscope and a thermocouple galvanometer.
Yes.
I think the thermocouple galvanometer was what he was sent to go retrieve.
That's right. That's what it was. Oh, I wonder what that was for. I wonder if it's just in Power Source. I bet that's what it is.
They are both real things. I looked them up.
What? That's tight.
What?
An electron inductoscope is an instrument
No.
for detecting magnetic or electric induction.
Okay, makes sense, I guess.
The thermocouple galvanometer is an instrument for measuring small electric currents, although it's actually called a thermogalvanometer. So these are real things. I'm just like you, Robert.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
are they just making up
Words.
freaking warp constraint core? No, I was surprised. They're real things.
I just found a journal where it actually is called the full thing, thermocouple galvanometer.
Wow. Well, there you go.
But yeah, I see the Wikipedia entry. It just calls it. It looks like it just calls a thermogalvanometer.
Wow.
Yep, I was right there with you.
That's pretty tight.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that.
Mm-mm.
Now we're gonna find out capacitors are an actual thing.
Capacitator. That just sounds like something to do with potatoes.
Yeah, maybe it's like maybe a potato can act as a capacitor.
It's a capacitator.
Wow, very nice.
So we're in the lair, and the turtles are suspicious of their master at this point. He walks in, and he grabs this like badass like spear / mace thing, and he's just like, attack me. And they're like, what? And he's like, I said attack. And like they're like, all right, and they all rush in to attack him. He beats the shit out of all of them. Like Donatello and Raphael are on the ground. Mike and like the Leo are like standing there. They're like, what the hell is going on? Like, and he's like savage about this. And at this point, they're starting to figure out, it's like, yo, like, that is not Master Splinter's fighting style. Like, we fought him plenty of times. That's not how he is. It reminded me of somebody else. And they're like, Shredder. So they're starting to piece together something's up.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, me too.
It wasn't just some arbitrary, like, nonsense reason that they started to, suspect him. It was an actual thing, a callback to them.
They would something they would specifically recognize.
Yes, that's all.
Y'all liked that? Because I always feel like that's a cop out when they're like, oh, that fighting style could only belong to one person. It's like all he did was like throw you guys and kick your ass.
I think it may be. I mean, I definitely liked it. I think it's just it's such a deviation from his traditional method that for it to randomly show up and be exactly like this guy that's been their foe for the last several years, I think it kind of nails it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes sense in this context.
Okay. And even if we go to the fact that it's of all the cop outs that they have done in the course of the show, I think this is the least offensive of all the ridiculous things
that's true.
That's I mean, yes, for sure.
Yeah.
This one actually has like some linear train of thought,
Right.
We're back in the Technodrome now after Turtles got their ass whooped, and Shredder's talking to Krang, and like he's like, and it's to me like the most casual like interaction between the two I've ever seen. And it's just like they're starting to like have this intellectual conversation about mind transference. And he's just like, yeah, it's possible, but not impossible with the right equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line, you're going in the chair.
Oh, yeah. What lets the cat out of the bag and what really tips off Krang isn't that Shredder is asking these questions. It's when Bebop comes in, he's just like, oh, yeah, it was like where we were fighting and like that happened. You had that accident and like with the funny rays. And Krang's like, what the hell? You didn't tell me about any of this. He's like, you didn't think this is weird with the funny rays and then you got beat up and all this stuff? He's like, no, I'm going to have to insist that we give you a mind scan.
I like that the funny rays talk when Shredder says something, or Splinter in Shredder's body says something along the lines of, oh, don't worry, it was just a slight accident, like trying to like play it off like so he's done catch on. And Krang says, slight accidents with funny rays can have serious consequences.
Yeah.
it's like he's got this truism ready to say about quote funny rays.
Mm-hmm.
So it just came off like Shredder was like talking to OSHA and like he just had a workplace incident and he's just like, no, it wasn't like really a big deal. Like I'm fine. I don't know. It's okay. I'm not even bleeding that much.
And OSHA's like, but you said funny rays were involved, right?
Mm-hmm. We got to report it.
So then they strap him to the chair where it's supposed to measure his brain waves to see if they match like what they're supposed if they really match Shredder to make sure it's actually Shredder.
Yeah, apparently they have a record of his brainwaves. So it's like, is this like company policy?
Yeah.
It's like beyond fingerprints. Like,
and the chair is pretty intense too. Like your feet even are like encased in these big metal boots that are just part of it.
Oh, this is like some Total Recall shit. Like he's in there.
Yeah.
Which is funny because that's like a mind thing. But anyway, and it's like reading his brain waves, and like right off the bat, like Krang's like, "What? This isn't Shredder. What the hell is going on?" Splinter is able to see what's going on. He can see the monitors, and he's like, "If I don't match my brain waves, they'll know, and the rats will be out of the bag."
And here we go.
Yeah,
here we go.
This guy is such a master of his own body.
Spoiler alert: this is my second submission because he's the most powerful being in the TMNT universe to be able to match someone's no, to manipulate your own brain waves and then match someone else's.
It's not even just manipulating. It's actually he manipulates them in an exact way.
Yeah, to match.
I mean, it's pretty fucking impressive, but
no, there's no buts.
I don't know.
I will die on this hill. Splinter is number one. I said it jokingly in the past. I'm for real this time.
How's he number one by being able to shape his brainwaves in a certain
That's the
way?
most powerful thing in the world. What else can he do?
Exactly. What else can that do?
Or I suppose, what else can he not do?
This one particular situation is the only time that's ever going to help you.
Nah.
All right.
You got that ability to shape brainwaves. Who knows what else you can do mentally? He's obviously clairvoyant. He has the sixth sense. He has 7, 8, 9, 10 sense. He beats. I shouldn't have to make a case at this point.
All right. This is not the time or the place. Next episode, we got this. I mean, I've already co-signed that he will be up for review. And then we can have, I'll referee between the two of you. You can duke it out and see where.
Big foam number one finger.
Let me just point out, he's already ranked number 6th in the universe right now. Just putting that, just throw that out there.
6 places too low.
There you go. I mean, yeah, we know. He said he's gonna die on this hill, so I'm ready to watch this fight. But yeah,
I'm gonna just be dead up there by myself. I know I'm not winning this battle.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm you're making an interesting point. So even though I do feel his rat is full of shit most of the time, but now so he manipulates his brainwaves. And he is able to match Shredders, and so he's able to convince Krang. He's just like, oh, okay, that looks good. And he's like, you never can be too careful. And he's just like, oh, yeah, sure, whatever. Splinter Shredder is now free. So we go back to the lair, and now Leonardo is extra suspicious of Splinter's behavior. And April shows up. And Splinter's not having this shit. He's just like, get out of here. Like, these guys are doing chores. You're just going to distract them. You need to leave. And April's like the saddest I've seen her.
Dude, this broke my heart, man.
This hurt me. I was like,
for real.
April's just like, well, I guess I'm not wanted here today.
Oh, yeah. I was like, no, you can stay.
And the Turtle's like, fuck this guy. We're coming with you.
Yeah.
They weren't even convinced that he wasn't like their master. They were just like, nah, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
And they all rolled out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, consequences be damned. So we go to the streets of New York now. They're above ground. And Michelangelo, of all the characters, he's the one that theorizes that it was the rays that zapped Splinter and Shredder that may be behind this mix-up, this change in personality.
Mm-hmm.
Just as they're talking about it, the awesome drill module thing appears out of the ground in the alley, and the two groups begin fighting, even though Shredder or Splinter Shredder is saying like, no, there is no need. And he's trying to like make peace between. He's like, no, we don't need to fight. And Leonardo even was like, the heck we don't, which I was like, well, that's pretty harsh. I was like, cool.
All right.
Like, they're all in on like killing each other.
Yeah, Leonardo, why can't I say his name? Leonardo did something cool for once.
Yeah, he was all Billy Badass. And he was like, no, I want to fight.
I don't know if I did watch it twice, and I know what I heard, but seeing if you guys noticed it at all, when they're en route to wherever, this is the thing. Splinter says that he programmed the coordinates to the location of their lair, but they end up just servicing in an alley.
Yeah, I didn't catch that, but I'll watch it and see. But I mean, that's funny because that means the GPS thing is a piece of shit and Bebop and Rocksteady get blamed for nothing all this time.
Right.
Because there's been multiple times where they were in charge of like programming coordinates and like Shredder bites their head off.
Well, he shouldn't be trusting that job to them.
I mean, I wouldn't trust them to like make a cup of coffee, but still.
No.
So somehow Splinter, Shredder, and Splinter are Splinter's down below still. He's doing his own thing. He's in the lair, or Shredder is. Splinter is above ground. He's with Bebop and Rocksteady. And I forget what happened to them, but Splinter ends up by himself. He's trying to convince the turtle. He convinces the turtles that he is their sensei. And he tells them like some like Yoda bullshit where he's just like, look past the surface and look into yourself and all this stuff. And then they all like come around to like, I don't know about you if I'm crazy, but I feel like he's telling the truth. And then Raphael co-signs, and then Michelangelo, and they're all like, yay, it's our master. Meanwhile, April's in the background like world starring this shit without a camcorder. The turtles are now convinced they got Shredder or Splinter. They need to figure out a way to get Splinter and Shredder switched back. We switch to lair for a moment. Shredder's down there, still a Splinter, and he's plotting to demise the trolls. He's like, where are they? It doesn't matter. When they get back, I'm going to kill them. So I was like, wow, all right. Because he's been putting it off. He's been like dicking around with them this whole time. Like, I was like, I thought your whole idea was just to waste these fools, but you just been like busting their ass this entire time with chores and cleaning and training. It's like, what is this? Like, this is some Bond villain shit. We go back to the surface. So Splinter's revealed how it happened, that it was actually the devices that switched them, and they're plotting on how to get them switched back. The turtles head back down to the lair. Shredder, he greets them with anger. He's like, how dare you leave in the middle of doing your chores and all of this. And the turtles are like, oh, it's okay, master. Like, we found Shredder, and we're gonna like, we need to get him, and like, we can take you to him, and like, they're gonna do the old switcheroo back. Splinter's all happy about this, or evil Splinter.
I missed the old switcheroo quote. I didn't catch that they actually said that.
Did they actually say it?
Oh, I thought you just said
no. I was just saying it out loud, just like because it's like the episode,
okay,
like they're gonna do the old switcheroo. But we're back to New York, and it's awesome because it's like Splinter's there, still as Shredder, and he's just like, I hate having to break in, but I must do this. And it's like so easy with his like wrist blades. He's just like barely taps this like badass hard like padlock, and it just falls apart. It's like I was like, damn, those are sharp.
Yeah, those are some sharp damn blades. You cut through metal.
Yeah, straight up.
Just by tapping on
straight up steel. It's just all right. And then once again, we have a long, drawn-out battle between Bebop, Rocksteady, and Shredder, and the Turtles and Splinter. Through a series of action and events, which one cool thing is, as Mike pointed out earlier, Michelangelo, he redeems himself, and he does like a double like nunchuck throw, and throws his nunchucks at Bebop and Rocksteady and disarms both of them.
Yeah, and he also calls Bebop pork face.
That was cool.
Yes.
But then he kind of screws up again because Rocksteady jumps him, and he like catches him with his feet and kicks him away, like launches him away, and he like lands right next to his gun, and he's just like, wow, that sucks. He gets like, they all get shot at again. So it was kind of a wash.
Yeah.
Donatello runs over to try and like activate the controls because, we got Splinter and Shredder in their places, like, so we can do the switch. Donatello's like, oh, they're still busted from last time. He jumps out of the way just in time as Rocksteady tries to take a shot, activates the machine because it hits the console. And both of the characters, Splinter and Shredder, yell in pain from getting transferred again. But we're not sure if it's a success. Each crew takes their respective boss. So Bebop and Rocksteady grab Shredder. Turtles grab Splinter. Not sure though. They're just like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. There's like, this is the best bet. This is our best guess.
And I thought it was pretty cool because we're in the Technodrome, and Splinter is explaining what happened to Bebop and Rocksteady. And like Rocksteady's like, oh, it's sure a good thing that didn't happen to us.
Oh yeah.
And he's just like, don't worry, you have to have something there to switch for it to happen.
And they're like, oh, that's good.
They're basically saying they're mindless, which I'm like, that's hilarious.
And also, I was thinking, like, their two personalities are not very different. Like, it wouldn't have basically made any difference if that happened to y'all.
Yeah, I know. I was expecting him to say something like that. He's just like, "What would nobody would know?" But he went even deeper.
Yeah.
He cut even deeper. He's like, "You're idiots."
Do you guys notice? I feel like Robert, you might notice this the most. Sometimes, not all the time, Rocksteady seems to try to speak properly and with good.
I know exactly what you're talking
Yes.
about right now. Yes, but I don't remember the exact quote. But I do know. I did notice this exact thing. I assume you have the quote on hand.
He just says, "Good thing that brain swap didn't happen to Bebop and I." And it's like
Yeah. But the
It's
way
so
he says,
pointed.
that's what it was.
yes.
Yeah, he says like, "Good thing that didn't happen to Bebop and I."
There you go.
Wow.
That's it right there.
Yeah, I'm thank you for mentioning that because I didn't write it down, but I did definitely notice it.
Yes.
So he's a
That is
character that's like a simpleton that's trying to like be smarter than what he's known.
exactly.
Uh-huh,
Right.
exactly.
He's like, I can be smart too.
Hmm.
I know word.
Right.
It's like, all right, bro, sit down. So then we cut back over to the lair for the last scene, and we got the turtles in April are around Master Splinter, and he starts coming to, and they believe it's their master, but Michelangelo does one final test, and he offers Master Splinter a slice of pizza, which completely repulses him.
Has it been established until now that Splinter hates all pizza?
I don't know if it's been established that he hates all pizza. I know he's turned it down before or made it seem like he wasn't into it.
Yeah.
I could have swore I've
Okay.
seen that somewhere.
Hmm.
I know he's definitely acted grossed out about, like some of the ridiculous pizzas. But I didn't remember it being a thing that he just hates pizza in general.
Yeah.
Same.
See, it's not like the turtles who we know hate sushi, which is hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Even though they have sashimi on their pizza, which is sushi, but I
Yep.
digress.
Yeah.
So he comes to, it's confirmed it's him because he doesn't like pizza. And then he starts bitching about how like trash the place. He's like, "Oh yeah, you guys, I'd appreciate if the floor was swept, if this was dusted, if everything was just cleaned and everything was taken care of." And they're like, So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like
Which is like funny considering that's what Evil Splinter was doing. And he was like making them do
That's
chores and
funny.
shit, and they're like, "Man." So yeah. But that's the end.
No laughter fade out this time.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Oh, didn't we have a bet or something?
Yeah, you owe me and Robert, I think it was $500, we said.
Wow,
So
I'll take that.
bullshit.
We'll go.
I said it was going to happen, that it wasn't going to be a laugh out, like a laugh track ending in the next few episodes. So
500. $500.
That was what I thought. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
500.
I'm still not even sure I lost the bet. Okay.
Oh, you did. You said in 3 episodes will be when they don't do the laugh ending.
No one knows what the bet was, how much it was for, who bet on what.
Wow. Good thing it's not recorded.
Yeah, right. I mean, I can easily go back and edit to make it say what I wanted to say. No, I'm just joking.
We know you can. Yeah. Oh, but yeah. Yeah, I actually enjoyed this one. I thought it was, I don't know. For some reason, I actually kind of liked it more than the Michelangelo Shredder one.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I don't know. I feel like I like the way they both acted, in their respective roles, how they were trying to keep their their appearances with their teams. So yeah, and I like the dialogue and like the different like odd moments that we have, like the Krang Shredder conversation where they're actually like conversing as they walk down the hallway. So,
Okay.
and like I think Raphael's quips were actually really sharp this one.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'll give this one a 9.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm going a little bit lower.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna give it a 7.
Whoa.
It wasn't bad.
It had action.
I don't
It had comedy. What?
It didn't have. I mean, it didn't have it had some action. It had some comedy, but not up to par for Ninja Turtles. I don't feel like. I felt like overall the plot was a little bit just kind of going through the motions and nothing super interesting happened. Like with Cowabunga Shredhead, we got, Shredder acting all goofy in Michelangelo's voice, and that was awesome. This one, it's just like them just plotting about what they're gonna do, and that was pretty much it. Like, it didn't do anything really fun or funny for me. And then on top of that is the problem of, we just did this 2 episodes ago.
I think that's really weighing in on your opinion of this one. That it's so recent. If this had been like in the actual air, like if you'd watched this like in the air order, I think you'd have a different opinion.
I may have given it an 8.
That's better than a 7.
Now,
damn.
Right now, my own, but I don't consider 7 bad. 7's 70th percentile of goodness.
I mean, considering we rarely go below 7, that is almost our bad. Okay.
This is relatively bad, but it's only because all of the episodes the whole series is so good. I haven't actually seen anything bad yet. So this is like middle range of good for me. Okay. I still liked it. I still like 7 means I liked it, but it was lacking in a few departments.
Fascinating.
Is it?
I'm perplexed. I'm not sure why I'm fighting so hard for this one, but at the same time, I don't know why you're lowballing it. But okay.
Mike?
I'm going to give it a 9. I had a lot of fun with this episode. I really enjoyed myself. It had a tone that was, I don't know, it was more playful, it seemed like. I can't really explain my reasoning for that, but it just felt that way to me. I didn't mind the similar trope because this was unique enough from the other one. And I also took into account how we would have viewed it back in the day. I think that 12 episode gap and the fact that this was different enough would, it'll be all right because they swapped bodies in this one, still aware of who they were, where it was just Michelangelo. The turtle was still Mikey, but Shredder completely thought that he was Michelangelo. So those are 2 different things, I feel like. Plus, I love swap, storylines anyway. So I would have been geeked either way. There was the moments where I really felt things, like I could feel putting myself in the turtles' shoes when Splinter was yelling at them as Shredder. I felt like, I could feel that. I'm like, man, he's never mean to us like this. That kind of hurts, Sensei. I don't know. I could put myself in their shoes. And then also, like we said, I was heartbroken for April. I mean, I felt terrible for her. Freaking, I can't remember her name. The voice actress.
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh no, I don't even know.
Whatever her name is, and I just looked it up today. But the way they drew her face and the way she voiced those lines really cut through. I mean, I don't know. So that was cool. The eagerness to know what happens next, to see how they were going to work this situation out, how it would end up, was higher in this episode for me than a lot of episodes in the past, even with possibly better storylines. I just really wanted to see how they were going to go about this. It missed a 10 because I wanted to see, and probably, now that I think about it naively, wanted to see, because there's no way this would have happened. I wanted to see more of them in the other person's shoes, to see how the other side lives, so to speak, in their day-to-day. Saying, like Splinter sees the cruelness of Krang toward Bebop and Rocksteady, or maybe even all that Krang has to put up with or whatever. And on the flip side, maybe Shredder seeing the compassion and the camaraderie or whatever, the warmness, the closeness of the turtles, and just some kind of expose on that. But like I said, that was kind of foolish of me to think that, or hope that would happen. Because that's just not the vibe that would really fit either situation. but I felt like they could have had they could have done more with it. There could have been more shenanigans. As Spencer, like, have to operate some complicated technology that only Shredder would know how to do. And here he is struggling to try to do it. That could have been funny. Or Shredder having to run a meditation session or something, like just anything, you know what I mean?
Holy shit, that would have been
Right.
gold.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Just a little bit more of that. I felt like they could have done so much more with that. And I feel we say that a lot throughout the seasons and the episodes, that we wish they had have done more with this plot point. They could have pushed it a little bit. So that's what held it away from its end for me.
Missed opportunities. Okay.
Yeah. But a great episode, in my opinion. A 9 is a good one for it.
Right on.
I would like to nominate Elliot for the power rankings list.
Oh, jeez.
That's Irma's foe. That's her nemesis.
I actually looked this up in the off chance that he has a Turtlepedia entry. He actually does. All it says is that he's a character in the 1987 to 96 animated series, and there's 2 sentences long. That's the first one. The second is, he appears during the 3rd season and is Irma's boyfriend twice.
Oh.
So we're gonna get a return
So
of
he
Elliot?
will be back.
Nice.
Hopefully he gets his own episodes.
Yeah, maybe.
Made to see an action figure.
Yes, the Elliot action figure.
He comes like his accessories like another girl.
That's pretty good.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect.
Yes, do it, Playmates.
Well,
So yeah, he was a good one. Favorite character so far.
wow.
Wonderful.
All right, that's where the bar is. Okay.
All right. Well, is there anything else? Is that it?
I got nothing else.
Shout our email out.
Yes. We are turtles@coolbutrude.com. Drop us a line. Still waiting to hear from you guys. Good feedback, bad feedback, suggestions, just saying what's up, or, fuck you. Either way is cool.
We also would like any and all Spencer's number 1 arguments and submissions. So flood us with those, if you would.
We're definitely not going to get any now.
Yeah. But another good one, guys. So yeah, appreciate it. Thanks everybody out there that's listening still. Anything else?
No, all good.
Same here.
All right, well, thanks again, and we'll catch you next week.
Yeah!